I hope she's still here. Okay. Well, there's so many heroes present today. But I do think there's one here especially that stands out, and that's Lieutenant General Richard Carey. General Carey, if you would come forward. General Carey directed all the Marine forces during the evacuation of Saigon, including thousands of South Vietnamese. He is a combat veteran of 2 wars, and he earned the Silver Star and the Purple Heart in the Korean War when he led Marines in some of the fiercest fought and crucial battles in history. He earned the Distinguished Flying Cross in Vietnam, where he served 3 tours. His other awards include 2 Legion of Merit Awards, 2 Bronze Stars, 15 Air Medals, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, 2 Presidential Unit Citations, the Navy Unit Commendation Medal with 1 Bronze Star, and the Meritorious Unit Commendation. And by the way, General Carey was a driving force in establishing the Dallas-Fort Worth National Cemetery and the Fisher House serving Dallas VA Medical Center. His latest project is an international significant memorial at the National Museum of the Marine Corps honoring participants in the Battle of Chosin Reservoir, of which he is a veteran, during the Korean War, which is scheduled for completion in 2016. Lieutenant General Richard Carey. Would you take this?
Oh, thank you very much. I don't have a proclamation or I don't have a resolution. I kind of have to speak from my heart. I remember 3 times in particular about Vietnam. First time was in 1963 when I went there to select all the future airfields and fighting positions that we were going to take up when the American forces went in. And there I witnessed and went out with a group of special operations people, American and Vietnamese, on a mission, and I first saw the heroics of those men. The next time that I was there was in 1967 and 68, during the Tet Offensive, when we had the war won. And the Marines had a landing operation planned for up north in Vietnam, and by our gracious political people, we were not permitted to make that landing. That would have finished that war. That would have finished that war. A very sad day. The next time that I can recall was in 1975, when I had a brigade stationed aboard some 40 ships and augmenting ships that were coming in to do the evacuation of Saigon. During that time, I was privy to messages and information that exhibited the heroic South Vietnamese armed forces, and I particularly point out a division called the 18th Division. I don't know whether there might be any survivors of that, but that division, the 18th Vietnamese Division, fought off 3 North Vietnamese divisions down to the last drop of ammunition that they had. That was true heroics. And then the next heroics I saw from the Vietnamese people was during the evacuation, when families, children, fathers, men and women came out to the ships in whatever way they could come, and came to the helicopters that we were flying out of Tonsanut and other fields and off the rooftops. And those people, many of them perished during that time, the evacuation aboard the ships. Women had babies, our corpsmen delivered babies. There was great heroics, great sacrifice. And those are the things that stand out to me about Vietnam. A very, very classic, heroic group of people. Absolutely amazing how they stood up to what they have. And now they're contributing to to our country, those heroic people. This country has a history of heroics, of all nationalities, and one of the finest group of people that have come to the United States are the South Vietnamese. And we thank you, and I salute you personally for what